Hello and a very warm welcome to the channel. This is the first set of short flights I'm planning to make for the YouTube channel. And today we are going to show you some of the best aircraft and some of the best scenery Microsoft Flight Simulator has to offer. So what we got this morning, we are in the Fenix A320. This aircraft needs no introduction. Absolutely fantastic. Systems modeling and we're going to be flying from Stockholm, Arlanda, and we are going to be flying to Helsinki in Finland. Short flight, this one, so strap back. This is what we normally do on stream, but we thought we'd do some short videos just for people to watch offline. So anyway, cold and dark, we are at the gate, and let's get started. Okay. Right, we've got no power connected to the aircraft, so totally cold and dark. I'll do a caveat before I start. This is no way means a tutorial. I'll be going through sort of procedures like I go through on stream live, and hopefully you'll be able to catch along. So here we go. Right, let's get some external power to the aircraft. Let's turn the batteries 1 and 2 to on. Emergency light goes to arm. Let's turn our seatbelt signs as well, and let's turn our navigation lights. Crew supply, oxygen can go off, on, and we can start aligning the IRSs, which will take roughly about 7 minutes or so. Right, that is it for the overhead for the time being. Let's wait for these displays to start warming up. And let's go over to get our flight plan in here. So welcome, this is the Fenix tablet, as you're probably all familiar with. So we're going to press this button first, and we're going to import the flight plan from SimBrief. A320 tail number is Oscar Yankee Kilo Alpha November. The time I've set, we've got 24 minutes to departure. You can change this. So let's just change this to just give us a little bit more time. So we'll go for a 10:10 departure. That gives us 34 minutes. Right. So that's the flight plan in. Let's go to the ground services. We've got GPU connected chocks and cones, and let's start the loading. So this is fully integrated with GSX. Our planned passenger count this morning is only 129 passengers. Cargo 4.626 tons with a fuel of just under 5 tons, 4,816 kilograms. So we're going to load the aircraft via GSX and get the ball rolling on that, and as soon as we do that, the GSX menu will come up and it will start to load the aircraft itself, bring all the services outside the aircraft. And if we quickly go outside, we will see that the jetway is going to connect. Not a really good jetway for this aircraft, but we'll go with it. And the loading carts are starting to, the conveyor belts are starting to approach the aircraft. The doors will open automatically, as will the passengers board. So how it does, it loads the cargo up, and then afterwards we'll be putting fuel on board. Hopefully this will work. GSX has had a few updates in the last few days, and we will see. But we've got some work to do in the cockpit before we go, so let's get back into the cockpit here. Right, so we got the flight plan in. The first thing we can go and do is put everything into the ATSU on the right hand MCDU. AOC menu, flight init, and we will init data request, which will populate the flight in there. I've got a little bit of a SimBrief panel here, which gives us a little bit of an oversight to the flight. So Scandinavian 708 aircraft A320 from Stockholm, Arlanda to Helsinki. Flight level 310 this morning. Time is roughly 41 minutes, so not a long time in the cruise. Cost index of 53, and there is our routing there with the departure route there. So departing 19 right on the Tovri 6 Golf. Arriving on the RNAV to Helsinki runway 33 on the Lakut 8 Whiskey. So that's what we're going to put in now onto the left hand side here. So we're going to go FMGC, and we're going to go to init, and we're going to go init request on this page here. So this will semi-populate this page, and we'll fill in the rest. So flight number, so Scandinavian 708 We'll fill that in there. Cost index of 53. Cruise flight level 310. I'm not sure how long we're going to be in the cruise because it's quite a short flight. Anyway, we've entered that in there. Let's go download the winds for the flight. So our climb winds, cruise winds, and descent will be populated. There we go. Right, good. So in it, page 2, we have got a page 2 here, but we're not able to fill this in because the aircraft loading is still in progress. So let's go and sort our departure out. So flight plan, Stockholm, and we on the departure 19 right. So we just go up the page, select 19 right, and the Tovry 6 Golf. There we go. And temporary insert, and that will enter the SID in there. So just have a look at that, see everything's okay, and Lakut is our transition. Arrival at Helsinki, we are expecting runway 33. That's going to be the RNAV arrival to 33 and the Lakut 8 Whiskey, which we will select there and temporary insert. There we go. Right, distance is only 254 nautical miles. So let's go and see the back end of the flight plan. So we've got a manual here. Normally you'd keep that thing, but I'm going to clear the manual for now and then clear the disconnect as well. We'll see what that looks like, and we'll temporarily insert. So the flight plan is pretty clear now, and there is our basically go around settings there. So that's the majority of the flight plan in, and we will dispense with that now, and we'll go and set up the rest of the autopilot here. So let's switch these on to VORs. Like I say, I don't do this in any sort of particular order, so, and we'll set our height, which is 3 do you know what, I forgot, 310 is our cruise level. So let's select that in there. Good. And let's do the QFE. So the pressure setting at our lander is 1,006 millibars. IRS I've still got 4 minutes to align. We'll turn the TSAS on now. If we were on VATSIM, we would turn that on straight away. And we will do some homework here. So we'll lift that armrest down, and we can get rid of this second tablet here because we don't really need it. And it just gives you some extra cycles on the computer for frame rates and stuff like that. Right, let's see how the loading is commencing. We have got 124 on board, so that's working. And this is a live picture of the centre of gravity and the weight distribution of the aircraft. Cargo is currently going on, loading the suitcases on. And the weight will increase, and the fuel, that'll be done after the carts have disappeared, and we just need about 1,800 kilograms from the fuel truck, and then we'll be ready for the off. Lovely. Right, a quick look. Should we have a quick look at Navigraph then? Let's go and have a look at the Navigraph page. Just to have a look at our routes in geographical terms. So we're departing on 1919 there, out of Stockholm, southeast over the city there, and then turning left. We then proceed over the water here and then into Finland. There is Lakut. There's our approach route there, and the RNAV to runway 33. Should be some lovely views of the city of Helsinki on the way in. So looking forward to this one. And so that is our route. Right, so what we're going to do on this video and a couple of subsequent videos that we're going to be doing, we'll do the setup of the aircraft like we normally do. We'll taxi to the runway, we will take off, we will do the climb. When we get to the top of the cruise, we'll probably stop the video, and then we'll come back at the top of descent if the cruise isn't too long. And we will commence the landing. So it makes it a little bit more interesting for you, so you don't have to sit sort of 3 or 4 hours in the cruise to watch the video. So that's how the format's going to work on here. So let's see how we're doing. All passengers are on board, and let's go and have a look, shall we? Let's go and have a look at the passengers that we've got this morning, and hopefully that will populate the aircraft. And that hasn't. GSX loads passengers on the Fenix now, but it hasn't worked, and it would be my first flight to demonstrate that, and it doesn't work. Lovely. Anyway, it's live TV, folks. Live TV. Right, okay, so we've got 129 invisible passengers on board. Package is nearly complete, and then we'll wait for the fuel truck. Right, we now have the fuel truck in position. We'll let them get on their way and put the small amount of fuel that we need. So let's go and set some other things up here. So we've got some Navigraph options here, and let's go and have a look at the charts for the flight. Right, okay, so go over to Orlando. Let's go to we're looking for the airport chart, which we'll display now. So we are currently on apron Charlie Delta here, and we're going to be taking off on 19 right. So taxi wise, we're looking at let's get the pen on. We can taxi up Yankee. Well, actually it's pretty simple. It's Yankee all the way. Whoa. Live TV. Let's rub some of this out. We don't want to be taxiing. We don't want to be taxiing all that way, do we? That's a bit of a mess, that. The pen got a little bit away from me there. So basically we will be let's take the rubber off. So we'll be taxiing up Yankee to the holding point there, Yankee 10 for departure. Right, good. So that is the airport chart. Let's have a look at the departure chart here. And we are on. Let's go and have a check of the departure. Just got to remind myself of the departure route. Tovry 6 Golf. So let's go Tovry 6 Golf. It was this one. So let's press star on that one, and that will bring the departure route. So departing south and then southwest. And there are height restrictions if there are any, and then direct to Tovry. So that is the departure chart sorted out. So zoom out. Let's go to Helsinki now and do the same again. So let's go and get the airport charts there. Okay. So we need parking stands, and the airport is there. And we are landing on this runway here, runway 33. We'll be parking roughly about here as well. So it's quite close, very short taxi to the gates. Parking stands, we'll star that anyway. We probably won't need that, but we'll just star that. Right, so let's go to there again. The arrival, it's the RNAV 33 on the Lackett arrival. And let's just remind myself again of the so it's a Lackett 8 whiskey. So let's go down the list. Lakut 8 whiskey should be. So there's the 8 mic. Let's have a look for the. I always get mixed up. Lakut 8 whiskey. You can never find it when you want it. So let's. This is taking me really a long time. Lakut 8 whiskey. There we go. Right at the bottom. So there is the arrival into Helsinki there. Lakut flight level 100 and 3,000 feet by Sopos. And then we'll be taking the RNAV in for the approach. So let's, we've started that one. So the approach, we've got the RNAV 33. There we go. So we do that one. And that is the chart for the 3-3 arrival there. So let's start that one. And that is it for the charts. So let's go back to the Fenix tab now, and it looks like everything is all complete. We've got the fuel on board, and we should be ready for our start. So let's so the weights are now constant. So let's send this data to the MCDU. So we'll send the weight data to the MCDU, and that should appear on init page 2. There we go. And let's go and sort the performance out for the flight as well. So we go up to here and use the performance calculator. So let's go up to here. So departure 19 right, runway state is dry. We're going to take flaps 1, and then we're going to do packs on as well. Sync the load sheet final, sync the live weather, and calculate. And there are our V speeds in there and our trim. And then we're going to send that to the MCDU as well, and that will populate there. Right, we are pretty much ready to go. No messing about. ... and we've got 310 in the box there. So let's go and start the APU. So fuel tanks, let's turn on, and let's do the master switch for the APU, and master switch start. So this one uses the lovely IA engines for the sound. The sound on these are absolutely fantastic. This is such a great aircraft. Well done by Fenix. Had a latest update a few days back with some fixes and stuff like that. So we will wait for this APU to fire up, and we can monitor its progress by going down to this screen here. Takes a while for it to wind up. But we're nearly there now. And once we get the APU gen thing, we'll just wait for a minute. So we'll go back to the cockpit view and up on the overhead and press the APU bleed. Now just wait a couple of minutes or a minute or so for this to populate through, because what I found is that if you turn the external power off straight away, it doesn't reset your FMGC, but it brings it back to the main menu, which you don't really want. So we'll just give that 20 seconds to settle down. So it's all GSX integrated here, so all we've got to do, we don't have to turn the external power, it'll do it all itself as soon as we press the beacon. Okay, so we're going to press the beacon now, and everything will go, and GSX will do its thing. Just leave the menus as they are, just let it sync through. And we are now got the pushback truck in position. Jetway is clearing, and we should get a nice pushback. Right, tug is in position, and we are really nearly ready for pushback. Right, pushback position 39. Let's go with that. There's a dedicated GSX profile for this airport. So here we go. Parking brakes off. Okay, and we are in pushback mode. Here we go. Right, so let's go to start the engines. So ignition on to start, and engine number 2 to on. There we go. And we'll watch the spooler. N2 rising. Let's go outside and have a listen. Okay, that's a good start on number 2. Let's go ahead with number 1. Okay, parking brakes are setting. And let's go into the cockpit and do the after start stuff. Right, okay, so just wait for engine to stabilize just a bit. There we go. Right, okay, so we need to set PWS to auto, ground spoilers to arm. Our down trim, basically our trim is up 5, so we refer to this and do your elevator trim up to pitch trim 0.5 up, and then select that to go back to the engine monitor page. We then do auto brake onto max, and then we extend the flaps for departure, which is 1.
Flaps 1.
Okay, looking good. We'll wait for the wave off, and we'll be on our way. Okay, we're finished with the APU now. So APU bleed off, master switch off, taxi lights can go on. And let's do the nose wheel. So that disconnects the rudders. Let's do a controls check before we go. Okay, they're working all lovely. Right, let's taxi. Let's go. Okay, parking brake off, and just a little bit of engine power just to get us going. So we'll taxi straight out here, turn right, and up Yankee, and then to our departure runway, which is nice and easy. So this is the Asobo Arlander scenery. It does the job. I don't often fly into here, but it does the job. Okay, let's do a takeoff config check. So we press this button here. That's gone green. Just a short taxi to 19 right.
Flex set. Airspeed alive. Knots. V1, rotate.
And rotate.
Positive climb.
Okay, gear going up.
Gear up.
Okay, autopilot 1 on. Sorry for that bit of mute before. I didn't have my microphone on. Okay, climb thrust.
Climb set.
And we'll be increasing speed to 210. Let's turn the ground spoilers and the ignition on to normal. We're going through a little bit of rain here. Okay, before we do the turn, we're coming up to flap retraction speed, so let's go flap 0.
Flaps up.
It's a bit showery here at Stockholm, isn't it? Shouldn't be long before we're above this this weather. Okay, we're past the transition level now, so let's go standard pressure 1013.2, and that is set both sides. Lovely and bright outside the bad weather. So, on our way to Helsinki. So the flow scripts I've got have also got auto landing lights as well. So when you reach 10,000 feet, it's automatically switched the landing lights off for you and the taxi lights. So if you operate in a VA or anything like that, and they've got a check for your lights, sometimes you forget, especially if you've got VATSIM. It's a good little thing that it turns off your lights, so you don't get any penalty checks at 10,000 feet. So yeah, pretty good. Right, approaching 10,000 feet, the nose will dip down slightly because it tries to reach the cruise speed here, 309 knots. We'll keep the seatbelt signs on just for a little longer as we're going through this cloud. There we go. Right, I think we're okay for the seatbelt signs now, so we can turn them off, and we can cruise up to our flight level of 310. Okay, looking down on the FMC here, we can have a look at how long we've got to go. We have got 231 nautical miles to go. On our progress page, we can put some bearing and distance here as well if we require. So we want EFHK 33, and that will put the runway runway and distance. So 200 nautical miles as the crow flies, bearing 068, if we were to fly direct to that runway. So that's pretty much it as far as the Airbus is concerned. So 227, estimated fuel on the board, on the ground is 2.7 tons. And that is pretty much it, really. Going on to performance, we've got activate. So cruise speed, 0.77, or 79, should I say. And our descent profile is 333 knots. I'm going to push that down a little bit. I don't normally like going down at that speed, so we'll put 260 knots in the descent, which will bring our top of descent a little bit closer. And there is our approach. What we could do now is actually go and fill in the weather details in for Helsinki, because this is quite a short flight. So let's go to the Fenix tab, let's go to my flights, and let's go and get the up-to-date weather for here. So let's have a look. Scattered at 3,300, temperatures 21 degrees, QNH 1004. So yeah, looking okay. There's some thunderstorms in the area, so we'll have to keep an eye out on that. So we can now fill that into this tab here. So 310 at what was it again? 310 at 10 knots. We'll put that in there. Put that into the wind. Temperature again is 21 and the QNH 1004. So temperature's 21 and the QNH is 1004. There we go. Let's try flaps 3 for landing, which approach speed of 139, and the Barrow, we will select that. So that is our approach complete. So let's enjoy the scenery. So our arrow there indicates the top of climb. And the white arrow indicates our top of descent. So not too long in the cruise. So if you're interested in my camera view settings, they are available on flightsim.to. just search for my name and they should be there. I've got both the variants available for download, the CFM and the IAE engines. So the progress bar along the top just shows us our progress there. Obviously, the green indicates distance travelled. So we're expecting 1037 Zulu. Current altitude 24,000 feet and climbing, heading 066 at 457 knots ground speed. So looking very good. Right, that concludes the climb out. So what we'll do, we'll stop the video and we will come back at the top of descent and show the approach. Welcome back to this flight from Stockholm, Arlanda to Helsinki. We are currently about 20 miles before the top of descent, and we'll go and set the aircraft for approach. Right, so the arrow indicated is our top of descent. So what we need to do is to go to our altitude window and select a height a bit lower. So what we do, I go down here and I just basically look at where we need to be. So flight level 8, flight level 52 looks quite good, or 5,000 feet. So we'll altitude down to 5,000 feet. And just before the top of descent, I actually just click the manage mode there and get it down to go a little bit earlier, which will drop at about 1,000 feet a minute, which we'll do now. And that makes for a little bit of a smoother descent. Right, good. So we selected 260 knots as at our rate of descent, so the aircraft is slowing down to that speed whilst we are still above profile. This green dot will then chase me down, and then we will catch the profile for the RNAV arrival to the runway 33. So if you're liking this video, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. It helps my channel grow and allows me to bring more content to you. So we've got 108 nautical miles to go. So if we have a look, so let's go and check the weather again. So let's refresh the weather. So it's looking a bit better now. Fuel at 3,500, temperature 22 degrees, QNH 1003. So do we have to change any of this stuff in here? Let's go to the performance, see if there's any major changes there. 290 at 13. I suppose we could alter that one a little bit. So 290 at 13. Temperature's now 22 degrees, and the QNH is dropped down just a tad, 1003. So let's set that in there. So that's good. Approach speed. We're looking at 139, so that is updated. So let's go and have a look at the charts for the approach. So let's go on to Navigraph again, and let's go to there and look at the starred ones. So we've got a list of all the flights here. So we're looking at the Laka 8 Whiskey arrival. So we'll suddenly appear on here very, very shortly, so we can track our progress on the arrival route. As you can see now, the profile is starting to catch up with us now. The aircraft will then increase the rate of descent to meet the height constrictions at each of these points here. Right, flight plan. So there's our projected levels at each of the points here. Flight level 172 by Lackett. So as you can see now, starting to catch the profile. Good. It's fairly easy approaching to runway 33 here. Lovely views of the city of Helsinki. So as you can see, it's holding the speed fairly well. It's not racing away. Just passing flight level 217. Everything's pretty set up apart from our auto brake, so we'll select auto brake low on landing there. .71 nautical miles to go. Some beautiful scenery here. So guys, if you've not got the Fenix A320 or you've heard of it and thought, should I buy this? It's an absolute must-buy. If you're interested in a full model simulation of the A320, then this is your bird. Absolutely fantastic quality for the price. And of course, Fenix are due to release the A319 and A321 to add to the family of the aircraft very, very shortly. It's a very stable aircraft, VATSIM, very VATSIM capable. You can do pretty much everything in this. Thousands of liveries available as well for download on flightsim.to or through the Fenix Livery Manager. They've got their own set of liveries as well. An absolute dream to fly. I must admit, this is probably one of my top 3 aircraft that I fly in Microsoft Flight Simulator. It's truly awesome. Right, passing flight level 150. We've only got 51 nautical miles to go. And weather doesn't look too bad, actually. So let's just go and have an update. We are now appearing on the approach chart. So we're approaching VBEP. We'll be turning right very shortly, 102 degrees, and then we'll be following down towards Sopos for the RNAV into runway 33. Right, approaching the next critical phase of the flight, approaching 10,000 feet, where we'll require our landing lights to go on. So I'm going to use my little flow module again and turn that on, which will basically turn the landing lights on at 10,000 feet with the taxi lights and runway turn-offs, and it'll put the seatbelt signs on, I think, as well. So if you're very busy on VATSIM on the approach and it's very very busy, it's an absolute godsend. Parallel 42's flow You can download the scripts as well, but you do have to have the premium version for you to be able to do that. But it's an absolute lovely application by Parallel 42. It saves a lot of the work of the pilot. Because don't forget, there's only one of us in here, where there normally is two in real life. So anything to lighten the workload is very much appreciated. Right, getting to the business end now. So still nicely on the profile there, just a little bit above. Now you can hear the landing lights going on, and the ECAM has told me that the landing lights is on, and the seatbelt signs, and if we look up here, they've magically come on. Right, as we approach the city of Helsinki. So if we look for the RNAV here, we'll probably take it off here and do a visual approach afterwards. So bearing in mind our altitude restriction, or basically the altitude that I've put in the box, is 5,000 feet there. So if we go a little bit further down, we look at the decel point. So it's asking me for more drag, which is that's fine. Okay. So we're looking at so we can put that down to a Bunu. We need to be at 3,658 feet. So if we just push it down to 3,500, and then just make sure you press the managed mode there as well, so it registers it. We're below 10,000 feet now. And we should be, so Helsinki should be on our left-hand side there. There we go. That is Helsinki Airport. So we'll be tracking out here and circling back for this northerly runway here, this far runway here. It's nice to see Helsinki in the in green. I think the last time I came here it was icy. Right, let's bring the range down just a little bit there. So auto brake low. We're just a bit above profile. Nothing too much to worry about. We'll bring a bit of speed brakes out just to keep that speed a little bit under check. So that is the runway we're going to be landing on over there. The lovely city of Helsinki. A football stadium down there. Okay, we can get rid of that speed brake now. Okay, because this is an RNAV, obviously this isn't an ILS approach. Normally you'd put the landing system on and that will give you your lateral and vertical guidance. So, if we put the speed, the height down to 2,000, about 223 or 22. We'll just keep on going with that. Okay, slowing down to 220 knots now, starting the base turn for runway 33. Some spectacular views. Absolutely phenomenal. Okay, still coming down on the profile. We'll wait till we got visual, and then we'll take the autopilot off. Okay, passing transition level. So let's dial in the QFE, which should be 1003, which is there. And the profile, we should catch the profile again. Okay. Is that cabin ready? I think it is. Okay, lovely. So there's our vertical deviation there. So now let's slow this aircraft down just a bit. Now we need to go down to 140. So let's bring some flaps out.
Flaps 1.
There we go. We've got good visual of the runway. So we'll keep bleeding our speed off there. So we're totally coming down on the RNAV here, letting the computer do the work for us. It's slowing down quite nicely. So wind check. We've got a slight crosswind just from left to right at 14 knots at the moment. Slats. So let's we can do flaps 2 now.
Flaps 2.
And we can lower the landing gear. Right, landing gear down.
Gear down.
Beautiful approach. Absolutely stunning. Okay, speed brake armed. Just check the auto brake, which we've got low. So we just need to slow down just a tad here. So let's go on to manual speed, onto 140. So. And we'll come off the autopilot now. And let's take it down ourselves. Okay, autopilot off. Just a little bit high.
Flaps 3.
Okay, flaps 3. Okay, what we need to do now, do the landing flap 3 inhibit so it doesn't, the ECAM doesn't warn us. And the speed brakes, because I extended them just a little bit, we'll arm them again. Not the most stable of approach I've got a Fenix up here, but we'll go with it. So we're just waiting for the vertical deviation to catch up. Okay, right, stable. Okay, we're starting to flare a little bit now.
100, 50, 40, minimum 30,
Landing.
20, retard, 5,
I've got a really bad sim freeze every time I land.
Spoilers up.
At the moment, that just happened this morning.
Reverse screen.
Okay, so that was a landing at Helsinki. Reverses out. Okay, reverse screen, and we will
Brake off.
take the auto brake off, and we will take the next available taxi way. In fact, we'll go over to the end. So that's my second landing today where I've had a massive freeze right on touchdown. I don't know what that is. I'll have to investigate that. So apologies for that. Right. So vacating to the left here. Let's turn the nose wheel steering on. We'll slow down appropriately. We'll go to our flow. And again, I've got the after landing flow here, which basically turns all your lights off and starts the APU, and it just makes things a lot easier. So when you're on VATSIM, you'll probably appreciate that a little bit better. When you're trying to contact tower to ground and stuff like that, it just saves a lot of workload. So right, we'll vacated here. We'll go and taxi to the gate. Right, not a bad flight actually. Landing, that freeze on that landing is a little bit concerning for me. That has only just started this morning, so we'll have to investigate that a little bit more. Because that is when you don't need a freeze. Right, crossing 22 left, 04 right here, and we'll be parking just to the right hand side at the terminal. The ACC tower is just to the right, so we'll park up there. Right, we'll just take a random gate here just to the right hand side. In fact, we'll take 24 here, which is as good a gate as any. Lovely. Right, good. So, very short flight. I hope you enjoyed this one. It's been quite enjoyable, and some nice weather for a change coming here. Right, let's line up with the gate, and we will do the shutdown. I think that'll do. Okay, parking brakes can go on. We'll go back into the cockpit now, and we'll just finish off. So APU onto bleed, taxi lights can come off, and then we can do the engines. So engine 2, engine 1 off. And to start the GSX deboarding process, just do this. You don't have to do the seatbelts, but the beacon is the big one again. So turn the beacon off, and GSX will go and deboard the aircraft. So let it do its thing, and we'll go outside. And as if by magic, the jetway is going to connect to the aircraft, and we're going to start deboarding. Right, lovely. That is absolute excellent. So that concludes the first flight on my YouTube channel. Hope you enjoyed it. If you'd like to see more, again, press the like button and subscribe to the channel. It's absolutely free. And come over to our Twitch channel, https twitch.tv Steve_Ellis100. If you want to see our live streams, join our Discord as well there. And we normally stream Monday to Friday at 0600. So anyway, that is a goodbye from me. Thank you very much for tuning in. And until the next one, take care. Happy flying. Bye-bye.